Barbershop conversation, guys. Feel free to hit the subscribe button. So Eddie Hearn is being let's call it blasphemous, just to piss some subscribers off, some people off, being disrespectful towards Al Heyman. And I watched that interview, and you can't help but recognize the frustration in his eyes, the visceral dislike. I don't want to call it hate just yet, but you can tell that his wheels are spinning because Al Heyman just got a deal with about 30 to 35 dates. I don't know exactly. I'll get the totals later for you guys. And and the one thing, the biggest thing Eddie Hearn was coming over with is, I'm going to keep you active. Well, PBC fighters just got active, and he made the biggest mistake by telling everyone his hand. That was the biggest mistake. He just should have moved in silence. But he chose to be public and be disrespectful, and uh, he complimented Lou DiBella. You understand what I'm saying? He said Richard Schaefer can't get a TV deal. Uh, Al Heyman gonna be shaking in his boots. I'm telling you, it's just gonna be tough sledding for DAZN. No one's gonna sign a deal with him. It don't make sense right now, and I advise everyone just to sit back and watch. Um, I would, yeah, I definitely would just sit back and and watch the demise of Eddie Hearn. Look at the stress levels and look at the discontent in his eyes in this video. And I'm not an expert on body language, but I'll just um, I'll just let it ride, man. So it's on you guys. Let me know what you guys think. Eddie Hearn, and the irony about Al Heyman, he's never done an interview. By his own admissions, uh, Eddie Hearn hasn't really had any dealings with him. I remember he was at the Barclay or something, and the Boxing Voice was interviewing him, and he said something to the effect of, uh, "I don't know what the, I don't really know who Al Heyman is," or something like that. So, but I'm real interested how this plays out. We all know Al Heyman is going to win, and if you're a fighter, and see, here's the catch when you cross Al Heyman. Now you got to pay a lot of people because I'm uncertain how Al Heyman contracts work, but I would assume you would have to pay Al Heyman something. And if you got to pay Al Heyman, say you got to do a buyout clause, right? You got to buy out Al Heyman. That goes against your bottom line. You got to pay DAZN. You got to pay Eddie Hearn. You got to pay the networks. Well, it's going to be on DAZN, so DAZN is going to pay you. Forgive me. So you have more bills, and that's just the reality of it. So um, I think that DAZN can't be successful in America, and it's just impossible. But it's creating money right now. It's creating jobs, but the long term of it, it can't. Because think for a second, if Al Heyman put pressure and minimize Golden Boy, put pressure and minimize Top Rank, put pressure and minimize HBO, what do you think he's gonna do to DAZN? I'm telling you guys, I wish, man, whoever gets that Al Heyman interview or a documentary is just gonna be, phew, you understand what I'm saying? So it's gonna be an exciting time. One day he's gonna speak, and he's gonna tell how absolute, almost absolute power he has in terms of boxing, in terms of stadiums, in terms of promotion, in terms of radio play, in terms of coming on your radio, doing advertising and stuff like that. But we'll sit back and see. But Eddie Hearn is getting desperate now. Eddie Hearn is getting desperate, desperate, desperate times calls for desperate measures. Isn't that what your grandmother says? So, barbershop conversations. We'll let it play out. I need to finish watching the rest of the interview, so I'll do that now before I'll take a link in the school, and we'll move forward. So anyways, man, barbershop conversations, man, feel free, hit the subscribe button. I'll talk to you guys real soon. Peace.